Does he have a free South Africa shirt on or something like that too, or stop apartheid? Because this was also the era where like almost every Joel Silver picture or Richard Donner movie was all like free South Africa, end apartheid, things like that. Because I was watching Scrooge the other day. Scrooge has a poster in Alfred Woodard's house, and of course Lethal Weapon 2. And then you have this one as well too. It just seemed like it was a reoccurring theme. I think he did for some reason. That's neither here nor there. I guess I always find that interesting in all these 90s action movies where it's like very, pro, end apartheid. Like everything is end apartheid. It was just kind of a hallmark, I think, of Joel Silver and Richard Donner. But he was good. I like Tone Loc with his voice. I like Tone Loc better in Heat, but, Tone Loc.
I look at now. He's wearing a Malcolm X "Our Goal Is One" t-shirt.
Our Goal Is One. Okay, that's what it is. Okay. Yeah, I knew it was something in that realm, but I feel like it also has like the black, the red, black, and green flag and everything too on
He's
it.
got like a necklace on that's got those colors on it. So yeah,
there you go. He's got the colors on it. So he's good. He's in it for like nothing at all.
Yeah.
But he's still funny with his "Hey, I'm Tone Loc." The voice is so distinctly Tone Loc, of course. So.
Well, I was scanning through the credits at the end of the film because I knew that there was some musicians here and there, and I thought I saw David Bowie in the cast, but no, it's an actor called David Bowie, and I was so disappointed.
David Bowie. And Vince Neil's in it as Bobby Black. He's in it for only like a second, but it always makes me laugh because in the very beginning it's like Black Plague is one of the biggest metal bands in the entire world. And it's like he's singing. He's basically just singing like he would be in Motley Crue or Poison, or any other crappy, hair metal band. I guess you could say. It's like this isn't metal. Like I listen to Slayer or like Cannibal Corpse or something like that. And that's metal. This is faux metal. This is
like pop metal.
Crap. Pop metal. This is like Rat, or what would be like another metal band from the UK? I guess Judas Priest.
Yeah.
Even Judas Priest is a little bit harder than this stuff. But this is American.
Iron Maiden, maybe no.
Iron Maiden or whoever sings "Balls to the Wall." I forgot the name of that band. Balls to the Wall. Something like that. So I liked all the musicians. It's fun to see them in movies. So, but I don't know if Kyle Troy was a real musician or not, though. I don't think he was.
He seemed like he reminded me of like Rick Astley.
Yeah, he did. I want to be the one. It's just. And then even when Wayne Newton at the end, he's like Kyle Toy or Troy, whatever his name is. I don't know if he did that on purpose, but I love that scene too. It seems very sincere how he's like, I hate this guy. I want this to end.
Well, we have to go back to the koala before we want to end on a lighter note. But...
I was waiting for when this ball was going to drop.
Well, before we get, there is a scene where they hang the koala when he comes back to it. Before his house is blown up, he comes back and the koala is hanging from the ceiling fan.
Yeah. And as the ceiling fan has continued to be on, though, so it's classic.
Yeah, but like he was given the koala by In Excess. Mm-hmm. Michael Hutchins killed himself by hanging 7 years after this film came out.
That's a little eerie.
Yeah.
Or kooky, if Ford would say.
So we're not going to end on that because that's horrific.
Rest
in peace. But yeah, I love the koala. I love that there was a koala in it. I love they bring him back at the end. He's not really dead. He's a koala wearing a neck brace, sunning himself on a cruise.
You didn't think we killed a koala, did you? It's like another, this speaking to the camera type thing. It's like you always worry about the dog dying, but you never worry about the koala dying.
No, it's I don't know how many films koalas have been in.
I can't name many films with koalas.
There might be a koala in Fierce Creatures that follow up.
Oh yeah, the
John Cleese,
John Cleese, yeah.
I can see that. I haven't met anybody else that enjoys it as much as I do.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like other movies with zoos. Like what are some other movies?
We bought a zoo, but I don't think there's a koala in it.
I don't know if there's a koala in there, or even if like, hey, we're going to a zoo and there's just stock footage of like, oh, here's what's at a zoo, a koala bear or something like that. So.
Well, the Matthew McConaughey character in Sing is a koala wearing a little bow tie, so that's one. I just googled koalas in films.
Okay, it's a short list.
It is a very short list. There's like Blinky Bill as a koala. There's a film called Koala Kid. Others known as Outback. There's not a lot. They're all like Animals United, The Wild. These kind of low budget animated films that you might expect.
Yeah, I guess koalas are expensive to like have on set. I know they're also very mean though.
Oh yes, they are
They're
horrendous
incredibly
animals.
mean. They have huge claws and they will kill you.
Like gifting somebody a koala is a punishment. That's
Yes, it's like
so
here's your
nice
koala bear.
move.
Oh, so cute, cuddly. It's like now it's gonna murder you in your sleep. So I feel like there was also in a Jackass, one of the Jackass movies or TV shows, one of them had to hold a koala, and I guess the claws of the koala were out, like digging into their flesh or something. So that was either the TV show or a movie. So that's the only other koala thing I can really think of.
I feel like there should be some kind of an exploitation film about a killer koala. Like there's like the Night of the Lapan, is it? The big giant rabbit film.
Yeah.
There should be a Night of the Koala.
I mean, they have Night of the Sheep. They have like the sheep movie and stuff like that.
There's
Where it's
several sheep. There's like black sheep.
Yes.
Shoulder
Black,
sheep.
yeah, Black, because that's an is that a New Zealand or Australian film? I think it's an Australian film.
I think so. I think it's
Yes.
Australian. Yeah.
It's like they have like mad sheep disease or something like that. They're all psycho sheep. Yeah, we need a psycho koala.
We do need a psycho koala.
But we also don't really have a lot of movies about killer bears either, though, outside of like The Edge or something like that.
Grizzly Man.
Yeah, Grizzly Man. He's like that was unintentionally an unintentionally murderous grizzly bear, but it's nature, I guess. It's in their nature to kill people who bother them all the time.
Yeah, absolutely. Which koalas just defend themselves.
Yes.
Anyway, I think anything else you want to talk about the adventures of Ford Fairlane, Matt?
I think we covered it pretty. We did a deepish dive. I don't know how like in depth we got into it, but hopefully we uncovered the secret of why more people might be interested in watching this film. You just have to go into it honestly with 90s eyes as opposed to 2020 eyes, honestly, or 20 or the 2020s eyes or something like that. You just got to go in and accept this is what the movie is, and you're either really gonna love it or hate it at this point. A lot of people, I don't think people hated it. Well, people did hate it back then, but they just didn't go to the movie theater and watch it. But this is a movie I hold kind of close to my heart a little bit because I watched it when I was really young, probably a lot younger than I should have been, and really not understanding the jokes. But I also found it to be like a zany, weird like cartoon, like it was like watching a live action cartoon because of all the ridiculous stuff going on. So I like it from that nostalgia segment of my childhood, but I also really like it now and appreciate it more as an adult because the humor is raunchy and gross and you can't do that on television anymore. But it's also very funny because Dice is very funny and his comedic timing is at the time and probably still now second to none, honestly.
Nice. Well, as I said, I like to compare the film to Deep Blue Sea. So I have a little list of how this film compares. It starts out with Ford Fairlane wearing a sleeveless vest, just like Carter does for much of the film. There's a character who's on the radio. You have Brenda Ida Totoro in Deep Blue Sea. It's Johnny. It's Gilbert Gottfried here. Johnny is killed by being thrown through a glass window, just like Stellan Skarsgård is.
Oh.
A very different kind of window, but it
Yeah.
happens. A cast member sings a song in the film. It's not LL Cool J in the opening on the closing credits. It's Andrew Dice Clay halfway through the film. At one point, he's on a boat. I didn't mention the bit on the boat when he has a fight with Robert England. He goes to get a
he's
shotgun.
under the water. Yes,
Yeah,
and
he's
he
underwater.
shocks him. He electrocutes him too.
Well, he goes to get a shotgun off the wall because it's in a rack. There's like 3 shotguns in a rack, but they're all locked in the rack. So he just yanks the whole rack off the wall and empties the shotguns one at a time. That's
Look
great.
at that.
I've never seen that before. That's incredible.
At least he established that there were shotguns on the wall too. It wasn't like something like they pulled off, like it wasn't like a gag, like offside, like oh shotguns, like here it is.
I enjoy. Rennie Harlin's good at finding new things to put in a scene. Like in Mindhunters when he has LL Cool J shooting handholds in the wall so he can like rock climb with a gun. I've not seen that here. So in that scene they sink something in the water.
Yes.
He shoots a bunch of holes in a boat and it sinks. Shark is served at the party, as mentioned. A building explodes, as also happens. A helicopter doesn't fly into it, but a building does explode.
Yeah.
In this film. There's a giant explosion from a small explosive. When one of the goons throws a little grenade into the car, it's like a nuke has been set off.
Oh, yes.
Much the same way that a pretty small amount of explosion destroys a huge shark with a huge explosion. It ends when they're floating on water, or a boat rather than a platform, but that's the end of the film. And there's an English villain, and Robert Englund has an English accent in his film, as does Saffron Burrows. There's an end credits water song, in this case it is Sea Cruise by Dion. And I got the feeling from the sorority house scene that Ford Fairlane directed the scene where Dr. Susan McAllister has to get down into her underwear in Deep Blue Sea. So not a huge amount of similarities, but more than we've had in some others. Oh, and the closing credits are over the water as well, which is the case for that one. And one final thing I like to do is to compare this From Deep Blue Sea another way, which is how deep and how blue is it? So I've gone through the film. Normally I will watch the film once and then go through a second time. That viewing being dedicated to working out how deep and blue it is. Didn't have time this time around, so I was kind of doing it as I went. So, Matt, if I were to tell you that on average Deep Blue Sea is about 47.5 feet deep and 31% blue, do you think that the adventures of Ford Fairlane is deeper and or bluer than that?
Deeper and bluer. Jeez. I think it is. I think this movie is deeper. I don't think it's as blue though. That's the thing.
Why do you think it's deeper?
It's because I think there's some subtext about some stuff,
we're
it's
going purely
on
literal depth. We're not going on
literal depth. Okay, I was going too unliteral. I was going deeper and bluer. Actually.
You're going too deep.
Yeah. There's a good amount of water in this. Everything's at the when a lot of stuff is at the beach. It takes place in California. I think it's in the shallow end of it though, so probably not as deep. Not as blue. Everything kind of it's more sequined than anything else. It's not really blue. It's neon drenched.
Sequin's not one of the options I have here, but you are right. It is neither as deep nor as blue because it takes place entirely on land, apart from one scene which they go down to surface level of the water. So it's at land height for the entirety of it, and it's about 11% blue, which is blue. I thought it's a lot bluer than, for instance, Cliffhanger.
Cliffhanger
that's like 2% blue.
Yeah, and it's weight and not deep at all. That's certainly at a higher height.
Yeah, that is currently our least deep film.
This one is at least at sea level, I'd say. This is a sea level film.
Yeah, it joins quite a lot of films that are in and around sea level, so it's in good company. It's not even the least blue of those. The Covenant from a few weeks ago is 1% blue.
Okay.
It's a very bad film.
Yeah, I'd have to go back and look at the blueness in this. Yeah. Okay.
Well, thank you, Matt, for joining me. Anything you want to plug? Where can the listeners find more of you online?
Oh, Happy New Year! We're still plugging away podcast. We just released our year in review for 2021 over on Simplistic.Reviews, which also does star Jay Cluett doing some of the. Yes, you're in the review. You're in the year in review. It's all of our skits.
My terrible acting.
All of our skits and sketches that we did over the course of 2021, which is always fun. We expanded on them. We're doing a lot more. Did a lot more last year. We'll do even more this year because if you're going to listen to anything from us, our sketches might be the only thing you might enjoy, if anything. But we always appreciate you helping with that, as always, Jay. Even though you weren't able to do any of your Vince McMahon impressions last year,
I wasn't asked to. I do what DJ tells me to. So
yes.
He asked me to play Scrooge, or he asked me to play. Who else did he ask me to do this? I think he asked me to do Benedict Cumberbatch at one point.
Hey, play this British guy.
I can't do Benedict Cumberbatch.
Do something you're good at. Even though I think you're an excellent Vincent Kennedy McMahon, but I digress. Maybe we'll have the revenge of Vincent Kennedy McMahon
happy
in 2022.
To reprise the role that I had no idea who he was before the first time he asked me to do that.
That's what's great about all the things we make Jay do. We make Jay be Vince McMahon from WWE wrestling, and also I make him watch films like The Adventures of Ford Fairlane that are distinctly American, almost too American, if you will, outside of Robert Englund's bad English accent. But we're coming back with more for 2022. We have some other little concepts and other little